This episode of Sewing Out Loud is brought to you by Copper Compression. If you've been doing extra sewing or housework, your hands might need some extra support. Visit coppercompression.com and use code SEWINGOUTLOUD to receive 30% off your first order.
Welcome to Sewing Out Loud, the official podcast of ZD Sewing Studio. Here are your hosts, ZD and Mallory.
Sewing Out Loud. Hello and welcome to the podcast. I'm Mallory Donahue. I forgot how to
Mallory forgot her name.
start a podcast.
And I'm ZD Donahue. Obviously, we've been staying at home too much.
Yes. I tried to make mayonnaise this morning, and normally I am so good at making mayonnaise. I'm the mayonnaise queen.
Except she can't make mayonnaise in the Vitamix, and I can.
Nope, can't make mayonnaise in the Vitamix.
I think I like my Vitamix better than you like your Vitamix.
Well, I've been using the Vitamix to make breadcrumbs. That's been great.
Oh, no, it is
Okay.
fantastic for breadcrumbs.
But I just was really effing up the mayonnaise this morning, and I was like, normally I'm so good at this. And my husband can't, make it. He always messes it up. And then I forgot how to start our podcast. And then you're going to hear about another thing that I messed up later in the podcast.
Only one?
No,
Only
actually, I was
we got more than one
saying
thing?
that, and I'm about to talk about another one. All right. So,
Maybe we should talk about how many things we've messed up
man,
during our stay-at-home period, because weird stuff happens.
you know,
When you take your routine away from someone, weird stuff happens.
and I messed up something. It's kind of a long story, but anyway, my children are just hearing me swear a lot more now.
Yeah, I think that's happened.
And you know
A
what?
lot of places.
They're just learning that, okay, that's a word we don't say because it can hurt
Well,
other
that's a
people's
word we don't say in
feelings.
public.
Yeah,
Oh, that's why our
that's
parents don't even let us go in public anymore.
Exactly. So, anyway,
That's a word that might offend some people.
we're going to do a little feel free to compliment me or what we've been sewing episode, social distancing style. And I'll start off.
I want to talk about social distance, okay?
Yeah,
So you're supposed to stand, I don't know, 6 feet, 10 feet. They keep changing it, right?
right.
But if you want to be 10 or 6 feet away from someone,
Uh-huh.
right, 2 meters, all you do is you extend extend your arm to the side,
Yeah.
right, either side. And then their fingertips to your fingertips, right?
But you don't touch them.
You don't touch them, right? It's okay. And then where your opposite shoulder, where your arm is not extended, you turn and stand there, and they do the same thing, and that's 6 feet.
Oh.
Because
What if you have really short
Your
arms?
chest and arm span is about a meter.
What if you have really short
Well,
arms?
I would assume, I'm not very big, and it works for me.
It works for you.
But then measure yourself. Is it a meter between from
Okay,
one shoulder to the opposite fingertips when extended? Is that about a meter for
I
you?
love all of the suggestions of the gigantic hoop skirts for social
Right.
distancing or like a big, huge hat or something.
Hillary wanted her farthingale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. I like those. I just
But anyway, that would be called like
so
SEW, social distancing, because
you know about
that's how we measure a yard.
yes, yes.
Is from your shoulder, from your nose to the tip of your fingers.
Yeah,
kind of
actually,
thing.
how I measure it when somebody orders like something from us, like elastic.
Right.
Now, fabric, I measure on the cutting
Right.
table, but elastic, somebody's ordering like 10 yards of elastic. That's how I do it, and I do it a little past that, so they get a little extra.
So you know that your arm, if you hold your arms up,
yeah,
right, out to the sides, hold them up, and measure fingertip to fingertip. That's generally within 2 inches of how tall you are.
well, that's why I brought up what if you have short arms, because how can that be true? And
Right.
you're 5
So
feet, and
I'm
somebody else
5
is
foot.
6 feet.
I'm 5 foot, right? So I know that my arm span and another foot, right, would be 6
would do
feet.
the trick.
Right.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's like
Okay, this is not the fun.
This isn't the fun
This
part.
is not the funny tangent that I thought we were gonna go on. All right,
I happened to think of that the
Yeah.
other day.
moving on.
I have time to think of things.
Okay, so I made Zelda a swimsuit not last year. I think it was like the year before. And it was a little tank top swimsuit. And she wanted like a rainbow on it. She's like sparkly rainbow or, some kind of combination of words came together where she's like, I want a sparkle rainbow swimsuit. And this was when we were doing a lot of the knit applique. So it was 2 years ago.
I think it was right about the time
Yep, doing all the knit
I was
applique.
making that first Ariel costume for myself.
Yeah. So the swimsuit, I tried to model it off of a leotard that I'd bought her for dance, which actually didn't fit her super well in the first place. And then I made this swimsuit, and it just did not fit well. The fabric I used on the front was like this holographic stuff. Anyway, I posted a picture of it. It looks really cute, not on her. And so
It's cute. It doesn't
it's
fit
cute,
anyone.
It just doesn't look good on,
Right.
it just didn't fit her. And I was like, oh my gosh. So anyway, I didn't get to really fix it, but then she asked for like a rainbow heart on her swimsuit. And so I was like, okay. So it was her 5th birthday a couple weeks ago here, and I was like, all right, need
That
to
was
go up
last
there.
week, actually.
Well,
but
I
it will be
know
a
when
couple
it's
weeks. I
the
see. I see
podcast
what
will
you're
be
saying.
published.
Yeah.
Okay.
I understand.
Now you get it.
Yeah.
I was really trying to be real here, like, so that people
Well,
could.
being real can be really risky. Go ahead.
All right. Might have to record this one on my own.
'Cause
Okay.
always, you
Moving
think you're
on.
being real, and then
Once-
something screws it up,
once
and you're not really
again.
real anymore. Go ahead.
Moving on. So I had this swimsuit with this rainbow pattern on it, and it was
That
first
didn't fit anyone
yeah,
in the whole world.
didn't fit anyone.
Right.
And actually, it's kind of funny because the way I like layered the fabric on, I think that it would stop a bullet. Maybe it's a
Yeah.
bit thick, and that's okay. But so what I did was I was like, I'm gonna make Zelda a swim shirt for her birthday. I remember that this is like what I should be doing the day before her birthday, little party celebration thing that we have. So I was like, I'm gonna make her, a swim shirt, and so I traced off another swim shirt that she had been wearing, but I looked at it and it fit her fine, and it was a size 24 month.
Because that's how wide she is.
Yeah, that's
right.
how wide she is. And I was like, is this like short on her? But she was asleep, and so I just traced it, and actually it ends up fits her just fine. So, but what I did was I cut the heart out of the swimsuit.
The swimsuit front.
Yeah, the swimsuit front. And it's really cute because the rainbow pattern of the fabric like that I did, the applique was going diagonally. So it's like this cute diagonal rainbow on this iridescent, like metallic heart. It's going to be fabulous. And then I raided Mom's stash of swimsuit fabric because I thought we'd just keep the tradition going of, stealing your swimsuit fabric. And I found this coral pink to be the body. It's like a raglan rash guard, and a foil decorated green knit that I think I would call this like dancewear fabric.
It's like foil dots on
Yes.
on bright chartreuse fabric.
Bright chartreuse green fabric. And you made me a chartreuse swimsuit when I was like 12.
I think I've made everyone one. I think
That
I
I
made
treasured.
Catherine one too.
Oh, really?
I think
Yeah, you
everyone's
did.
had a chartreuse
I
swimsuit.
think you did. Yes. No.
In fact, I think I have Catherine's chartreuse swimsuit, so we should just put Zelda in it.
Oh, okay.
And we may have to replace the elastic, but who knows?
So, so I'm making this shirt, and it's turning out like so cute, and nothing, like I didn't screw anything up during the making of this shirt. I hemmed it and everything before I gave it to her. It was nuts. Did I wrap it? No. But I realized
You put all the money and thought into the gift.
into the gift. That's right. She doesn't care if it's wrapped. So I give it to her, and it's adorable, and she just wants to wear it all day. But then a little thought came into my brain. It's like, Jerome is 2. And
Yeah,
this was
he
based off of a 24-month shirt. And I'm like, was that a shirt that he can wear too? Because sometimes they switch, clothes
Right.
or whatever. So I tried on Jerome. It looks adorable on him. Like this corally pink color and the chartreuse. That is a professional, very trendy color
It is
combination.
Right now,
it just looked so cute. So he looked so cute in it. So I'm like, Derek, see you later. I got to go make another swim shirt. And so I come up here and I use the same pattern. I cut it out, and then I'd cut the heart out of this little itty bitty swimsuit.
That was
But
left.
there was
What was
still
left?
a little bit of this rainbow left in the swimsuit. And I was like, okay, well, obviously he can't have like a big old heart or something on him. So I cut out these stripes, and you'll see them in the photos, and I've shared them on Instagram, so you've probably seen them.
They're like little racing stripes. It looks
Yeah,
like.
they're kind of racing stripes, and then
Yeah.
like I didn't have as much iridescent fabric on one side as on the other, so it's like the rainbow looks like it's been sort of cut up, and I just think that like I would
Rainbow
not.
through the Vitamix.
Yeah, there you go. I would not have like designed this.
Right.
What I mean
But those
is
are the best designs.
no,
I
what
swear.
what I'm trying to say is
You
like
planned it. You
I
would not.
don't think I'm smart enough to have designed something this cute.
Oh.
It's so
well,
cute.
but what's funny is it wasn't a planned design. It's like, well, this is what I have, so now this is going to happen.
Right.
Yes.
No, it really though, like I feel very fortunate because it's not like I've been doing a lot of like other creative work or something like that, like designing designs to go
Well,
on the
it's
front
like-
of a t-shirt,
Actually the swimsuit I wore that same day, which your daughter calls my spacesuit because
Uh-huh.
it's that galaxy fabric. That was a muslin,
Yeah.
and that was scraps. And
it's so cute,
everyone
yeah.
tells me how cute that suit is, and I'm like, well, I wish I could say I planned this all out to be this cute. but
Right.
it's just, I didn't have quite enough for the sleeves, and I only had, enough space fabric for the middle front and the middle back, and it was that is just so cute. And I'm like, and I didn't even think it up myself.
Well, and
yeah.
that bright green foiled fabric,
You didn't know it existed till that
it
day,
was
right?
just a little scrap.
Right.
Actually, I think I did. I think Zelda picked it up.
Oh, before.
And she
yeah.
had said, I want a swimsuit out of this,
Yeah.
And so I knew she was small enough that I could do this. So, the sleeves worked on it, the neck
Was that out of
band.
the bin that said a yard?
Yes.
yes.
I'm looking at it right
Yeah.
now. It says spandex knits less than 1
yeah,
yard.
1 yard
yeah.
or less. Yeah.
So, the sleeves worked for Jerome,
Right.
and then what I did that day is I noticed that the sleeves were a bit short on Zelda. She could maybe use a little more length in the body, and so I did alter her pattern,
Uh-huh.
and then kept the other one. So the original pattern that I had drafted said, Zelda Rashguard,
Right.
May 2020. So I crossed out Zelda, put Jerome, and then I made one for Zelda, and I actually tried to increase the width a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I made a test one and went and put it on her, and she actually didn't need that much width. It really is the
Right.
length for a lot of kids.
A lot
in
of
these
kids
ages.
just grow tall.
Yeah.
In fact, some kids will get slimmer around as they grow tall sometimes
well,
for
Jerome,
a while.
Yeah, Jerome
Yeah.
definitely he had.
Oh,
this,
he's definitely
gosh.
slimmer.
Well, the picture I posted of him in this
Oh, no.
thing, he's
You-
sticking his
So
stomach
everybody
out.
would say, Jerome, let me see your shirt. And it's on his chest, but he would
Like,
stick his stomach out.
Oh my
right?
god, it's so
It
cute.
was funny.
He's a hilarious little kid, too. So anyway, I was just so happy with these garments, and so the next day I cut out 2 more pieces. So they both have 3 new swim shirts, which actually I don't really know that they need many more for this season, like this year, and so
Except sometimes we're swimming every day, and
Well,
sometimes we're swimming in the morning and then in the afternoon.
that's true. And Jerome
Yeah.
naps. So
Right.
sometimes he's got to, do a change of clothes. So I
Right.
did think maybe 2 more. And the fabric that I used was the stuff that I'd ordered through a Facebook page called the Purple Seamstress. And I ordered it, I think, 2 years ago. And so I still have it left over. I'm like, oh my gosh, I thought I was going to get rid of this or, use it up. And I thought, well, when they grow out of these in another year or 2, I'll get to make some more. So that is, in fact, one of the, I guess it was 2.5 years ago, because Zelda had leggings, swim
Right.
leggings out of the one fabric, and we made those during the Made to Measure leggings testing process,
Right.
when we tested them for kids. So anyway, I just felt so wonderful having made,
Sewing empowered.
my Sojo was back
Yeah.
is kind of what I was, saying. And I'm like, yay, I feel so good. And then I went to make something for myself, and I'm like, why are these pattern pieces so big?
Big,
I'm
I
like,
know.
oh my, no. And I was cutting out those burnside bibs. So they're a wide-legged, gathered at the waist overall.
So there's 3 times as much
So,
fabric
yes,
as you need
exactly.
anyway.
So
right.
it's just a rather large pattern piece in the grand scheme of things anyway. And then I'm like, why is this so long? Oh, and I'm like, oh, right, because it's for a a full-grown person instead of a child. And I was like, maybe I need to sew some more kids' clothes before I move on. It was also really handy. I want to point out that you had the cover stitch machine set up with like pink thread, okay? And it's not set up with pink thread anymore because I changed it for the second batch of Rashguards. But you had the machine set up with this pink thread, and the hem of the rash guard was pink, but the sleeves were that green. However, I did not change thread because hell no.
I wouldn't have either.
And
No.
it blended into
Right.
this bright green foiled dot,
Right.
like just fine. And I'm just, that was, of course, just another thing. When I was doing this, I was like, oh, I should share this with the group that, like, you just never
Right.
know. Like, you might be fine with a light gray or even a light pink on the most unlikely of fabrics, So that made me happy as well. And then the other two rash guards I made were like a teal and a blue, and I just changed to teal and blue over there. And I left pink in the looper because I don't care.
That's right.
So that's my feel free to compliment me. And then both of my children were in these adorable rash guards. And have you ever seen the segment of Ellen where Kristen Bell is on there and they bring in a sloth?
No.
No. Okay. Well, if anyone has
Sloths creep me out.
Okay, so apparently Kristen
Do you know
Bell.
that sloths only poop once a month?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That is
that's
creepy.
how slow their metabolism
everything
is.
is.
It is gross.
Well, apparently Kristen Bell thinks they're like super cute. And
They move so slow that crap grows on them.
Moss.
Like
Moss grows
moss.
on
Yes,
them. Yeah.
literally, like a rolling stone gathers no moss, but a
Yes.
sloth does.
So she apparently thinks that sloths are really cute.
They're disgusting.
And
Yes.
Ellen finds this out, and she's going to bring this sloth on, and Kristen Bell loses it.
So
She
this
has-
is on her talk
Yes,
show.
this is on her, and Kristen Bell freaks out so much she cannot speak, and she's like crying,
So
and
she's
so
happy.
She's so. Oh no! Wait! It didn't happen. See, this is another social distancing thing.
Bad memory.
I think that Dax, her husband, actually, they were just describing when he arranged a sloth encounter for her. I can't remember exactly how it went, but I was having that kind of reaction to how cute my kids were. I was like, oh my gosh, they're so cute in these little shirts and everything. And yeah, it was definitely a highlight for me during this time of weirdness that, they were just so cute in these shirts. I mean, the kids are cute, but the shirts really did it for me.
Just finish those kids right off.
That's right. And I didn't get to make them matching swim pants that day or anything. And I was like, whatever, just things can't always be perfect. But yeah, I'm very happy, and I was so excited to share those on Instagram. So feel free to compliment me on my 2 rash guards that I made for my little children. I don't have any new rash guards, but I don't think I actually really need any right now. Okay, ZD, you have anything else that you want to tell me how proud you are of me and my rash guards?
Of you. What else have you made lately?
No, just compliment me on the rash
Oh,
guards.
well, no, I really like the color combination. I like the idea that you used the swimsuit, that was non-functional.
Yeah. Because, May, or was it April? There's a month in our group that's supposed to be refashion.
Must be this month.
It
No,
was
it's
one
not-
of these
yeah,
months.
it's not- I don't
So-
think it's this month, but I don't
So I
know.
was like,
when
oh,
it is.
I'm refashioning something
Right.
is what I did. Yeah. And we still have the back of the swimsuit to use.
Well, actually,
Oh, did you use it?
I will tell you what I've been using this.
Okay, well, we'll take a quick break, and then ZD will tell us what she's been using them for.
Let's take a moment to thank our latest sponsor, Copper Compression, for supporting the podcast.
Copper Compression offers a full range of copper-infused wellness products like braces, gloves, and sleeves that provide targeted relief and the support you need through your active recovery. They have the highest copper content on the market, guaranteed.
Copper-infused fabric is wondrous material. It has antimicrobial and anti-odor properties and boosts circulation. The unique combination of compression and copper gives you the strength to heal.
We know how important our hands are. I've been knitting and gardening more while staying at home, which is fun, but my hands were killing me. I started using their half-finger gloves while working on my latest project, and my hands have felt so much better.
Copper Compression was recently in the news. They donated their entire stock of 18,000 professionally manufactured masks to New York and New Jersey hospitals.
And of course, we have a special offer for our listeners. Go to coppercompression.com/sewingoutloud30. That's coppercompression.com/sewingoutloud30, or use the promo code SewingOutLoud, all one word, at checkout for a very generous 30% off on your first order. Thanks, Copper Compression. Sewing out loud. And we're back.
Okay.
What's Edie been making?
Well, we're going to get into some territory here. Mask, right? Masks.
Yeah.
Yes.
You've made more than one.
Yes, I have.
Oh, have you been keeping track?
You know, not really, but I do know we're at 100.
Well, there have
easy,
been.
yeah.
There have been.
I don't
some,
keep track, and I don't tell you that I'm a hero because I made one.
Yes.
And I don't think I'm doing. No, I'm not in. I'm not in that heavy.
There are some funny jokes out there, like about how many masks have you made and how many people have you told and everything like that.
Well,
First of all,
yeah.
if you make masks, be proud of your efforts. Good
Right.
job. We're just kidding.
Well, I think it's funny when somebody says, I made 20 masks. Oh, my God, it only took me a week. And I'm like, well, I did 20 masks in an afternoon. But anyway, because I'm used to being able to assembly line things.
Right.
I have that in my mind. I have a mindset that does that, I did a little R&D first and decided how I was going to make them and what was most efficient. And I do not sell my mask. And I am very, what should I say, frugal about whom I let know who or whom, either one, I let know I'm actually making masks, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to take any orders for like, oh, do you have, such and such superhero fabric or Disney princess fabric? No, I'm using what we have here.
Mm-hmm.
Part of this to me is we are using what we have.
Right.
Okay. And then we're not like taking more resources out of the community to, do this again. And I don't know how anybody's running out of fabric because I'm not.
I know. I mean, well, and to be clear, so
we have a lot of fabric.
I'm gonna be ZD's editor here.
Right.
Like, if you want to make masks and you don't have fabric, you have to buy fabric.
Right.
Like, so not everyone has the luxury of having the huge stash we have.
Right.
For sure.
Right.
And also, there are people who are saying they're making masks and they're volunteering their time and talent,
Yes.
and that is a good thing.
And some people are selling masks because they have lost their income.
That's right.
Okay, so there's all different. I'm just telling you where I'm coming from.
Right. And there've been
and I have no problem with people selling masks.
Oh no, yeah.
I mean, let me tell you, there's work that goes into them.
Oh man.
I think it's nice for people, but we've given some to some agricultural people here.
Yeah.
I've given some to some friends, family we've taken care of. But that, like I said, I don't want to take orders. I don't want it to become that thing where I feel pressured about it or whatever. Or somebody tells me, oh, well, my little girl just wants a Disney princess one so bad. And I'm like, I'm not going there.
Right.
I'm not doing that. There's too many other things I need to do right now. If people want to do that, great. Now, I have accidentally made some musical masks that some music teachers
don't make no mistake, there's some cute masks.
Oh no, there's
some
some adorable masks here,
Except I had a friend who was like, oh, will you make, I want a cute one like this. And I was like, everyone who has asked me for a mask, I was like, this is not an excuse to go out and party. You have to, stay home. And anyway, there are stipulations.
I think that's part of it
that
for
come
me.
with my mask.
No, that's part of it for me too. I believe the masks are a serious thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It does feel...
I don't think there's anything wrong. I think they should look good. I think they
Right.
should fit well. There's a lot of, all kinds of things. So when designing these, I knew that there was going to be problems with how they fit people around the ears and what kind of elastic to use and all of this and everything. And actually, I decided that I could probably use knit strips, like spandex strips.
Yeah, around the for the
For any sort of head ties or ear ties or whatever, and that I would not have to sew them.
right.
Okay. That I wouldn't have to, set something up and make all of these bias. And by the way, it doesn't have to be bias if it's just a strap to tie. It can be on the straight of grain, guys. So anyway, I started playing with spandex, cutting, deciding what size, and then, so if you take most knits, almost all knits, there's some that won't work this way, and cut a strip and pull it, it will roll.
Right.
It will roll onto itself, and you don't have to do anything with the edges because they're finished.
Not gonna
Knits
ravel.
won't ravel,
Yeah.
and they do fold in on themselves anyway. And I think I did learn a couple things.
Well, okay, you learned some things about pulling them
Yeah.
different directions and rolling different ways.
Right.
And then I have just gotten 3/4 of the way through knitting my first sock. And the reason I bring this up is because there's a certain pattern of knitting around the heel area that caused a bit of a different rolling pattern.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, I wonder if machine
Sure.
made knits are
I'm
made
sure
like
that's
this. And
it.
I was
Right.
like, okay.
Right.
So I was learning too.
Well,
It was
so
just cool.
here's here's what I've learned.
Uh-huh.
Okay, some knits will only roll when you stretch them in one direction.
Right.
Okay,
Either like
and
cross
and
grain or
usually
straight
it's cross grain.
Mhm.
Okay, and if you try them in the lengthwise grain, they won't roll.
grain. Uh-huh.
They just won't roll. They stretch and they come back, and that's it. Okay, or they don't stretch at all.
Mhm.
Right? If it's only a one-way stretch or two-way stretch, or how we want to put this. Um, the other surprising thing is some knits roll both ways. If you
Uh-huh.
stretch cross or length, right,
Uh-huh.
they will roll, but they roll like in the opposite direction.
So like toward the right side or away from the right side.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And get this, you don't know until you try. Because I'm like, I got this. If I pull in the cross grain, I can always have my right side out.
Right.
Well, and then the next fabric I did, it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
So it's how they're woven, or what side they decided to print it on.
Mhm.
It's so you have to test.
Yes.
Here we
and
go. Test again.
So the mask pattern that ZD kind of developed has channels on the side. Okay.
Yes.
So the ties are not affixed.
And right.
sewn.
And the reason I chose channels
talk about that.
was a couple of reasons.
Yeah.
Number one, if you are washing your mask correctly, which is in hot water
Mm-hmm.
and even warm water, hot water with detergent, right?
Right.
Your elastic will wear out.
Right.
Okay. So if I've attached the elastic by sewing, I now have a mask maybe that's still okay, but my elastic is worn out.
Right.
So I wanted a channel there
Yeah.
to either put elastic through or, whatever.
People can put whatever they
you
want
could put,
through it.
No, and I have tried shoestrings, and that works if you want to tie it behind your head.
Yep.
I saw that, is it Stan that's using yarn?
Somebody was using. Was it Stan? Yeah. So
Yeah.
you could use yarn. You can use
Yeah,
whatever.
I think it was. I'm trying not to get somebody mixed up. I think it was Stan, because didn't he post him and his husband, and he said he used yarn?
Yeah. The other
Yeah.
reason I like the channel is because you can kind of gather up the mask.
You can gather it as you need it.
Yeah.
Because I know, like I made 4 size masks. I have a child size mask, and then I have what I call my medium mask, which is sort of like a teenager or woman mask. It's kind of a
Yeah, the kids.
it's on the petite side.
Yeah, there's like a kid size, and then like medium is sort of like mostly women.
mostly women, but
Large
men
is
seem to be able to wear it
mostly
too.
men,
But and then I have a large size, which most of my men have been wearing. Okay, and then I have an extra large, which if there's a beard or somebody has a wide face, just
Yeah.
I have not that many of them, but just enough that a few
you
people.
needed, yeah.
Well, or if your nose happens to be like bigger, it's
it's a bra. It's
bra-
a bra.
well,
cup.
it is a bra cup. Mine look like single cup bras. That's what they look like.
So when we also you put a channel in for the nose wire.
And I have a channel for the nose wire that's sewn in on the lining only.
Right.
Yes, and that nose wire can be removed. If you can't remove the nose wire, that's another issue with laundering. It's going to poke through the fabric
Right.
and or many other things. It will wear out.
I
Right.
will say that one of the, everyone has really personal feelings about the
Right.
masks and everything. And a really wonderful article was shared in the group that basically said just that. Everyone's going to have different
Right.
feelings around this and stuff. But something that has been nice for us is we have been using some fabric and that bias tape
Oh,
that
yes.
has been sitting around. And
Not just
if-
since the 60s.
just since the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that is something that is feeling good for us in making them too. I think.
Right.
Do you agree?
Yes. Yes. And in fact, everything that we've not purchased one supply.
Right.
And then our nose wires.
What are? Where
You know,
is?
you don't
What is
even know
that?
what
I
it
don't even know what it is.
Mallory doesn't know what it is.
Well, it's
so
nice.
I say to because I tried several wires and I looked on the internet to see what people were using and I didn't like anything that I tried. Paper clips are too flimsy. Jewelry wire, it wasn't stiff enough. All everything I tried I didn't like.
Yeah, you weren't liking what you
So I didn't like, and I wanted something that was moldable, and I wanted but sturdy enough that they could take it out of the mask and be able to put it back in and use it over and over. So I'm out in the shed, and I'm like, here, this is it. I think I found it. This is the wire I want. Well, and I only found like three feet of it.
Right.
Like a yard of, that goes for about, 10 masks or whatever.
Right.
So I said to my husband, I don't know what this is, but you better be finding me some more. Okay, where'd you get that? I said, I got it out of your green shed. So, and he's like, well, I don't even know where that came from. And I go, it came from your green shed. Find me more.
Find me more of it.
Or tell me what it is. Go to a hardware store and get me more.
Right.
Right. And finally, he's like watching TV. And in the middle of like watching TV, he goes, I'm pretty sure that's some low voltage wire. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So it came to him what it was. So
it's copper, isn't it?
It is copper.
Yeah.
It's probably
nice.
a very expensive mask.
Yeah, right.
Very
Somebody's going to steal it and sell it.
So it's actually covered copper.
Yes, it's covered.
So it's covered and it has a rubber or plastic sheath on it. And I turn the ends of it to make them blunt or whatever, So it's low voltage. So he found me like 2 rolls of it.
Yeah, that we had already.
So, right. And I said, can this be replaced? Because I'm thinking he's going to want me to replace it.
Right.
And he goes, oh, no, I'll never use that again. He says, I probably would have, he says, I don't need it. So I'm like, I have all this wire that's now mine.
Yeah. No, it feels good because
I was getting ready to take, the wiring out of the walls and splitting it open and, Romax, is that what they call it? I can't remember.
That's not a sustainable idea. But
Well, it is. It's just a lot of work.
So the outside of the masks are a quilting cotton, a woven cotton, and then the inside is flannel. And we have these bolts of flannel from when you used to teach the baby blanket class.
Right.
Bolts and bolts and bolts of flannel.
So my philosophy, my mask philosophy was make something comfortable. I wanted it to fit well for comfort and for, sanitary reasons, both.
Mhm.
And if it was comfortable, people would wear it.
Right.
Okay. So that was part of my design.
Right.
And I was like, this flannel is nice and soft. I think people will wear this and it will feel better than another layer of cotton up against their face.
Right.
That might be stiffer. Because, all the cottons are different. Some of them are smoother than the others.
Well, and what materials to use and stuff, we're not going to get into all that. But we did actually find, there was an article published.
This was funny because after I designed it was Derek.
Derek sent me an article
and
in the New York Times, and they said that a layer of cotton and a layer of flannel is actually pretty good.
It is one of the better. It tested better than most as far as filtering.
Tests better than like a T-shirt or one layer of cotton. And so we're like, okay, and this is not, these aren't what do I want to say? These aren't PPE.
No,
these
these
are not
will not filter out
medical.
microns. They will
Yeah,
not.
these are
No,
not medical grade.
no.
They are meant to be,
This is to stop the moisture droplets from your breath, to stop them from going out into the atmosphere.
right,
That's all it
right.
is.
And there've been that infographic that goes around where it's like, one person's not wearing a mask. Oh, so two people not wearing a mask, and this much transmission can happen. One person's wearing, but
Right.
then two people are wearing, and yay, it's lowered quite a bit.
The function of this is basically the same as coughing into your hand or
Yeah.
coughing into your elbow kind of thing. Now, we don't want to do that because then we wind up with a dirty hand and a dirty elbow in this case.
Right.
So, that's why we have the mask. So, since have learned this Lycra stuff,
Yeah.
like stretching the spandex or whatever, or the knit or whatever, I see this little swimsuit that Mallory has cut up and cast away.
Well, I knew we were going to use it. Well, first of all, I thought maybe I was going to be able to get like a sleeve out of it or something. And
Yeah.
it was 2 layers.
Yeah.
So I was like, I will be able to get 2 sleeves or part of 2 sleeves or something. And then I was like, all right. So we've got this quilting cotton. Some of this quilting cotton is on bolts. You've got those panels that are from God knows where or why or when. There's like a cat with a basket of flowers. So we have all this fabric, all this flannel, and then knit scraps are something that we produce
A lot.
prodigiously. Okay.
lot.
So we are able to use those as well. And so what we've been sending out the masks
Right.
with
A lot of our
are-
masks are being mailed. Like we've hit both coast and north
and
north Midwest at this point.
yes, and we have made most people who we've given them to have given multiple masks too.
Yes.
2 to 3
in
masks,
fact,
that's
my suggestion. If somebody
Right.
says, "Oh, I'd like a mask," I say, "You really should probably have 2 or 3." And look at it this way: 1 to wash and 1 to wear.
Right. So
My husband has 6.
yeah, he's a good mask wearer too.
Yeah.
He's good. So now for like me and Derek, when you set out the masks for him, like 3 more for him or whatever, and I was like, oh, we don't need to put a nose wire in every one of
No.
our masks. Like Derek and I will get it. We're taking the nose wire out to launder, and we'll just put it in, our
Right.
next one. You can sanitize it like with alcohol or whatever. And but the ones we have sent, we've put a nose wire.
So I
in
put
each one.
I have put a nose wire in every one
Yeah.
that I have mailed out or given, and I tell them to keep them.
Yeah.
If this wears out, or if you think you need more masks, you need to tell me, save your nose wires.
Yeah.
Okay, I just don't feel like.
Well,
I just
that's
think
a
it's
harder thing to replace too.
and I just think, it's silly to waste it.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing we do is, so if I'm making up this little package to send or whatever, is we put in extra spandex.
Yeah. Okay. So what I started out
strips,
trying to
right,
explain, and I
right.
got off on tangent. So you cut those strips about 3/4 of an inch by 8 inches.
3/4 inch wide. Yes.
Yeah, and then you stretch them.
Now, sometimes I go ahead, and if I have it, if
Sure.
it's like 12 inches, I go ahead and I stretch it, and I don't cut it up
Yeah.
to see if maybe they do want to wear it like, around their head.
8-inch minimum.
Right.
But what that does is they can tie them to go behind their ears. They can adjust it. They can replace it with a shoelace or a ribbon or piece of yarn, whatever. And we give those extra ties, along with that.
We even sent safety pins to the agriculture people.
Yeah,
so they could
in case they didn't have one,
Right.
they could have some
that they could thread their
safety
whatever
pins
through
to,
their channel. Yeah.
Yes, that thread whatever they want through there. So anyway, I like it that's customizable because I didn't really think about it, but what Jerry was like, I don't want that thing around my head. I was like, oh,
Most people
okay.
don't.
Okay.
They don't. It doesn't feel comfortable around their
Yeah.
hair, around their head. And I will tell you, the Lycra seams or spandex, whatever, the
Yeah.
knit, the knit little strips that roll up are more comfortable around the ears because I made both for my husband to test.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I like that stretchy,
Yeah, it's
soft stuff.
really
Well,
nice.
it's so soft because it turns up to be round.
Well, and
It's round and it's not flat with an edge on
well,
it.
and the reason elastic exists, okay, is to like go in a knit garment and like hold it up in a waistband or on a neckline or whatever, elastic. And it's, I'm not saying it's like bad to use it, but that's just why those are more comfortable. And I think for like civilian wear like this, it's a really good option.
Right. And most people are not wearing these masks like a professional would, where they're on their face for 10 hours straight or something,
Well,
or around their ears,
you know. That's the thing about this. There's so many different situations. I hesitate to use the word levels.
Well, in the situations, I think is a good word because people are also taking masks and handing them out to customers or patients that come in because they don't want to give up the PPEs.
Right.
They want to try and keep the PPEs
or
for the professional situations.
I mean, we're really lucky. So Derek's a school teacher. He has to go in and do some things in the near future, and he's required to wear a mask, but we really get to stay home a lot.
Right. I have only tried one on.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I've been out, but the situations I've been out in is like I'm out walking down the road. So I'm not, it's not like I haven't worn one for any. I've only tried it on.
I went out once and I brought it with me and I didn't need it because I took trash in.
I carry mine in a Ziploc in my purse.
Okay, that I do want to bring this up. I love these stasher bags, these silicone bags. Okay, I'm just freaking obsessed with them, and they are expensive, but they're like the perfect mask bag.
Are they?
Because they can be put in the dishwasher or in the washing machine.
Right.
They're silicone bags, and you can reuse. So that is actually what we've been using to transport them. And I'm trying not to use as much plastic, blah, 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 blah. I don't even have any sandwich bags anymore, which really sucked when I tried to pipe cupcakes because I didn't have any piping bags either. So anyway, those silicone stasher bags are so freaking awesome for that. But you made Jerry a fabric bag.
Right.
Too.
Right.
Which is also good.
I really need to make more than one fabric bag.
Yes.
Because I'd like him to keep a fabric bag, and I'd like to just take the fabric bag and put it in the laundry.
Everything in the laundry.
What I'm doing is I'm taking his out of his fabric bag or washing it, or I need to make more.
You need it, another one.
Because I want. Now, the last time I washed his mask, I did it by hand. I just put really, really, hot water in a wash basin and some detergent and some OxyClean. Then usually, if I put him in the washing machine, I'm using one of the mesh bags that I have.
Oh, that's a good idea to put them in the mesh bags. Yeah.
And I leave the earpieces in.
Yes.
And when they wear out, we'll replace them.
Right. And so you can replace it with whatever, you want. But yeah, it's I wanted to talk about the levels though too, with the fact that we are able to stay home. I have a friend whose husband is the manager of a grocery store.
Right.
You gotta go into work every day, and
she and I compared masks.
Oh,
the other day.
So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe he wants more than one per day.
Well, that's what my husband's doing.
Does he take one off to go eat his lunch and then go and get another one?
My husband says, and he's weird because he goes into supply places.
Right.
Okay. So he says he'll wear one, and if he hasn't worn it very long, he feels confident in just leaving it open on the seat next to him,
right?
And putting it back on. He says if he's worn it for a while, then he'll put another one on that day. But he's usually good with one a day.
No, one time I went into that art studio, and no one was there. So I didn't even see anybody, but I had the mask on to walk in case there were other people there.
And that's what you do. You wear it if you think you're going to pass someone or something like that.
Right. And so it was like, well, I don't really feel like this one, I was in my own space and everything. But, these aren't going to be sterile
No,
pieces
they
of
need to be clean
equipment.
like your clothes are clean.
Yeah.
You kind of treat them like your underwear or something.
You know, like the clean gynecological exam, which is not a
That's
sterile
right.
exam.
That's
Actually kind of wondered about that, like if that program is through our local university. And so I'm like, well, I don't know if they're ever going to like start up, when they're
Well,
going to start up school. I was
I
like, I
know.
wonder if we'll be wearing masks.
Some of the
during
nursing
that,
schools and the PT schools around here, I know from first person information, are doing things on mannequins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Which
mean,
is a shame.
It is. Well,
Yeah.
you got to do the mannequins first, but then,
Right.
yeah, that is, something that's sad. I think it also, Candace Ayala, who founded sewingportfolios.com, she's another person who we've met like through Baby Lock, and she does, she talked about making the masks and how it made her have really strong feelings while she made them.
You do, yeah. They can be emotional. I believe.
Yeah,
I agree.
she said that what she described was like sewing masks as an empath, and how this was difficult and how she thought about the people wearing them. And I think that there are some people, I know a woman who's going and picking up kits for, from a local program and, redelivering and everything. And it's just like the situation we're in, it seems like this is kind of the best route for us. We have enough people asking us for them, and then we provide, and then we cut out more, and then we find a need, and we go and we go and we go.
And it's kind of funny where we found the needs, because everybody thinks medical, and then here it turns out that, tell them about your agriculture lady.
We joined a CSA like just now.
So tell everybody what a CSA is, because I didn't know.
Okay, CSA stands for Community Supported Agriculture, and so this program, it's a local organic farm, and you pay ahead of time for a year's worth of vegetables. So every week they're going to give you vegetables, and you're supporting this business, and you're supporting local, agriculture and everything. So, yeah, I was, writing to the woman, Farm Her Liz is what she like calls herself. Okay. Which I think is really cute. And I was writing to her about, how we're going to pick stuff up and everything. And, she said, I don't have enough masks. And I was like, oh, well, can I contribute per employee, and then I said, Mom, can we contribute to per employee?
She says, Mom, how many masks do you have ready?
It's like, Mom, I need a costume for everybody for Halloween. It's very similar kind of thing. So,
Mom, I just volunteered you to make the most bizarre thing in the whole world.
Mom's been using a lot of her. You say the mask making has been a bit therapeutic for you.
I found it therapeutic. Research and development I enjoed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you get really satisfied when you're like, I found
I'm
the
like,
way I like to make this.
Oh my gosh, everybody
everyone loves these
that's
masks.
the feedback I get. This fits so well.
Yeah.
This doesn't fit like the other one they gave me at work or whatever. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, of course.
No, that really turns ZD
because
on.
I did R&D in my studio. So anyway, where was it? What were we talking? Oh, what? So what I have found is it's good mindless work for me now.
Yeah.
So if I feel like cutting, I cut. If I feel like sewing, I sew. If I feel like top stitching, I top stitch. If I feel like cutting strips for the lycra strips or whatever, spandex strips, then I do that. It's just I'm going through my stash. I just refolded some fabric in a drawer and went through and picked out what I wanted. So it's kind of, in a sense, kind of mindless work too, because I now have it down.
Yeah, well, and I want to share that at first I was like, oh, I'm like gonna ask for these masks, and I was like, I gotta get up there and like sew some of these because I haven't done anything. ZD's done everything.
She gives my mask away, but she does not contribute in any way.
I didn't do anything. Yes. And then I was like asking her like, yeah. And I was like, well, I feel so bad. And so then I was like, well, maybe I should just say thank you and not like get all guilty in here, because I have been having to like take care of my kids and do our, get all these podcast sponsorships figured out and stuff. Somebody's got to run the business, and then I have to nail you down for some live broadcasts too. Right. And things have been, even though I generally work from home and everything, things have just been so different. So anyway, I set aside my guilt, and Mom was very supportive. And then I very kindly came up here, and I did the most difficult part of 19 masks. I sewed the linings together, and I put on the nose strip for the nose wire. Didn't I, Mom?
Yes,
And you were so
did.
grateful.
And I came up and there's like 30 linings, just
19.
19,
19.
waiting,
Yeah.
there, ready to
And you're
go.
like, oh, you did the
I'm like,
nose
oh,
wire?
you did these. Wow. Oh, and I said,
Wow.
oh, the channels on them and everything.
Oh. Yeah, apparently I didn't use the right seam allowance.
Yeah. So then I go and I'm putting these together, and I have let people, like, I will cut out the mask, and sometimes they're not together, but I will take a picture of them and say to people, this is,
Do you want this one?
do you want to
Yeah.
pick out, 2 or 3 of these, and I'll sew the one you want, or what I'm getting ready to sew, pick 2 or 3 that you like from here. So one of my aerial buddies who's in PT school, she picks out, of course, one that I only have one cut, only one that, it will be the unique and only one. And I put it together with Mallory's lining. And I can't, well, unfortunately, I can get anything to match when I'm sewing.
Well, yeah. Why
right?
just get it to
No,
match?
I get this, I can get, and then I turn it inside out, and I'm like, this is awful. Like, there's a big wad of fabric in the nose of this thing. So after trying to figure this out and what was going on, and I thought maybe I've put the wrong size with the wrong size, because again, like I said, we have 4 sizes, and they're not that far apart.
Uh-huh.
Like, they look pretty similar. And I'm like, maybe we labeled these wrong. I don't know. So what happened was Mallory didn't take as big a bite of seam allowance as I did.
And then
so there's all this excess fabric.
She texts me and she's like, what line did you use on the serger to sew these? I'm like, I think the first one. And then I'm like, I shouldn't even said anything. I should have been like, I don't know. Because I'm sorry. I really, no, I'm not absolving myself, but like, I don't remember maybe. I don't know.
I think that's the one she used.
You think that's right? Okay.
Anyway, we have resolved that.
It was wrong.
But yes, but I was like, you got to be kidding me. I came up here to do mindless sewing, and now I've got to figure something out again.
Well,
okay.
yeah, that was just over payback for when you handed me a stack of the outsides and you said they were mediums and they were larges. So really,
but I had cut all those and sewn all those, and you
I
said,
cut and sewed all those too.
No, I cut all those. I cut all those.
I know.
I cut 30, which was actually 60 pieces. So the mask I make, like Mallory said, are like a bra cup, and they have the seam, down the midline.
And I have seen people who've somebody published a pattern that doesn't have the seam all the way down the midline.
They just have the dart,
so that you don't have to cut up your pattern. Like,
Well,
if you have a pretty pattern that you don't want to interrupt.
Well, there's a thing about the dart. There's a reason I
know.
didn't do a
I
dart.
know. I agree.
And it's bulk.
I prefer the
Right.
seam too.
I don't.
I think it's
okay.
easier.
I don't have to fussy cut these
Right.
boogers. They're mask.
Well,
but
no, I know why somebody
Right.
might want one, but yeah, it's
although,
anyway.
yes,
That mask sewing has been good. Oh, I want to bring up. We brought this up way back at the beginning. I'm sorry, you're about to say something too. But gathering at the side, where the channel is,
Right.
I've seen a lot of people. I don't want to get into technicalities here. That's not what this episode's
Mhm.
about and stuff. But I have seen a lot of people with the gap at the
well,
sides.
and I
had
yeah.
one too.
No.
When I put
Yeah.
it on, and then I just
scrunch it up.
scrunch up
Yeah.
the mask a little bit, and it fits so much better.
I,
so keep that in mind.
And that's one reason I made the shaped mask,
Yeah,
because
it,
you're less likely to have the gap. And honestly, I really believe they're more comfortable.
right.
And like I said, I was going on comfort because I wanted people to wear them.
Right.
I wanted them also not to have to touch their face a lot.
Right. And I did notice there was one day that I was kind of wanting to touch like my nose wire. And so I was like, okay, I need to shape this better.
You need to shape
before
the
I
nose
go into the
You need to
place.
shape that nose wire and go.
Right.
And that's another reason for a nose wire. I know not
Oh,
everybody's doing them.
It makes a world of difference.
It does make her, and I have a tiny face,
Yeah.
like compared to a lot of people. So that it will stick up like into my vision almost,
Yeah.
even though I have that shape
Right.
to not do that. So I just like the nose wire. It's not necessary. my
Like, if you can swing it,
my
it's cool.
cousin is in California. She was wearing bandanas, and I said, "Do you want mask?" And she said, "Well, I've just been wearing these." She goes, "Because I can't make up my mind, and I don't know." And I
Yeah.
said, "Okay, fine, I will make you some." She's like, "Oh my gosh!" Now she's not back at work because she was worried about when I go back at work.
Yeah.
How am I going to deal with this bandana on my face?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, here's the other thing. It's just so interesting because I know this woman, and she is, well, I don't know if she's completely clear of cancer. She had to have surgeries, like, during our stay-at-home order, which is so terrible, sad. I felt so bad for her. And she wrote on Facebook, she said, I need a mask. My husband and I have been wearing bandanas. And I would say 40 people commented and said, I'm dropping off masks for you. And so then I messaged her a couple days later. I said, did you get masks? She goes, oh my God, I got so many masks. And so, like, I see that there are just, like, different people,
Right.
meeting these needs and everything in different ways, and everybody's got to do it in the way that's, like, most comfortable for them. And I was like, this woman has this huge support network that, she didn't need me,
Right. Well, and that's the other thing I made very clear to people. If you don't like my mask, you find something else. That's fine. I will not be offended if you
Right.
don't want to wear my
Right.
mask.
Yeah.
I'm actually getting the opposite feedback. So far, it's like, no, your mask fit better. I would rather have your mask. Is that okay? And I say, when you think you need another one or a couple more, just get,
Right.
I'll get them to you in a week's time or whatever, or maybe that day. Who knows? But I also, like I said, I don't want them to be a pressure on me.
Yeah.
Either.
I can barely take the pressures that are on me right now. And I know that, and some people have been just, like, so motivated by this, but I think that you just got to do it in whatever way you can.
I think another thing that's unique for us, and I don't know, well, this is unique to some other people too, but people are like, oh, I'm at home and I have all this extra time. No, we've always been at home. This is where we work.
No, a lot. Well,
So we haven't. It wasn't like we gained time for,
No.
like, not traveling to work or, we already had our time filled and it was at home. And
Yeah.
then now we've got the kids on top of it.
And we were
So-
working on some razor thin margins there.
I think there's
To
no,
begin
but
with.
what I'm saying is, if
Yeah.
we had been going out to work, getting up
Mhm.
every day, getting ready, going out to work, do you know what I'm saying?
Right,
And
right,
coming
yeah.
home, we might have like, boy, we got all this time now.
Yeah.
So everybody's going to realize how much time they waste going back and forth to work.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well,
And getting up and doing your makeup and your
I mean,
hair
this is
and worrying about
completely-
what you're wearing. Yeah.
No, this is completely off topic, but I think there are a lot of companies out there that should let their employees work from home. I mean, that totally. I have no dog in
Well,
this
now my
fight.
husband's company, they're doing like sort of half and half.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
and that's a pretty small company. But there are some of these
Right.
companies where it's like everything's on the computer. You're emailing
Right.
people all day, every day, anyway. It's just like anyway.
Well, things will
not
change.
everybody
Yeah.
is comfortable with
Right,
it though. I like working from home,
Yeah.
and I know some people who are like, this is terrible for me. Like I'm not happy with
I guess
this,
but what I'm saying is,
yeah.
I didn't need to add anything
No.
to my, to my schedule to keep me occupied while I was
Right.
at home. I had plenty to do.
Right. Okay. Well, thanks for listening to our, feel free to compliment me social distancing edition. And we hope that you are finding whatever balance you need with the mask making. If you are or you aren't, whatever
I like
works
that.
for you.
Just balance.
Yeah.
So everybody stay balanced and
Stay
stay
as-
safe.
Stay as balanced as you can. It's hard. And if you are somebody who's got to be out and about, thank you very much for, doing that and being amazing. And we appreciate you. And we hope that our podcast has been a little bit of fun for you. ZD, take it away.
So long and so happy.
Thanks for listening to Sewing Out Loud. For even more expert sewing advice, visit sewhere.com.